In this video, we start from the question number 31. A spherical conductor Q of radius A is placed concentrically inside a conducting cell of radius B. A charge plus Q is given to capital Q and they are joined by a metallic wire. The charge that flows from Q to P is means inside the spherical conductor here what will there is no charge. That's the reason totally how much charge is flowing from here what is here from inner cell to outer cell, how much charge is flowing here, totally Q charge is flowing because here this is a total charge is flowing from the here what is the inner conductor to outer conductor. How much charge is there in the inner conductor? We are placing the plus Q charge. That plus Q charge is flowing from inner conductor to outer conductor. Right, this is which option is correct here? A option is correct. Next, 4 metal plates each of surface area are arranged in the shown in the figure. They are arranging like this. Now the separation between the plates is same, area also same. Now find the equivalent capacitance between A and B. How can we solve this type of the problems? Now here first of all we are taken here. This is the A. We can redrawing the diagram. Now this is the A terminal, A point. Now A is connected to second plate. 2. Next, in between 2 and 1, it can form the now what is here? A is connected to 2 means in between 2 and 1 it can form the one capacitor. So this is 2. Now this is 1. It can form the one capacitor. Of capacitance C. All are having the same capacitance. Now C is there. Now and in between what is here? Next that is 1 is now in between 3 and 4 also. Now B is connected to 1. Now 1 is connected to 3 is there. Now what is there in between? A is connected to 2. In between 2 and 1 capacitor is formed. Now 1 is connected to 3. 1 is connected to 3 means it is connected to third plate. Now in between 3 and 4 is it can form the another capacitor. So here this is the 4. Now this is given to which terminal here? B terminal. But observe here, in between 2 and 3 also it can form the one capacitor. So in between 2 and 3, this is a 2, this is a 3 terminal. In between they can form the another capacitor. We can take like this. We can form the another capacitor in between 2 and 3. Now listen here, this is having the capacitance C. This is a third plate connected to fourth plate here. This is having the capacitance is the C. Now this is having these two are in the what is that? This is the A terminal. A terminal is connected to 2. Next 2 is in between 2 and 1 capacitor is there. 1 is connected to 3. In between 3 and 4 is one capacitor is there. That 4 is connected to B. In between 2 and 3 also one capacitor is there. So in between 2 and 3 another capacitor is connected. Now what is here? This is in between 2 and 3 it is connected. Now these two are in the which combination here? This is a parallel combination. Parallel combination means C effective is equal to these two C effective is equal to C plus C is equal to 2C we are getting. Now what is here? Again we can draw the diagram. This is when these two in the parallel combination we are getting 2C and this is a C and B is there. Now these two are in the series combination. Series combination means now we find the C effective capacitance. Here this is the what is there here. Series combination means C effective is equal to here C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. 2C into C by 2C plus C is equal to 2C square by 3C. Now what is here? C cancel 2 by 3 into C. Now 2 by 3 into capacity of the parallel plate capacitor. We know that here that is epsilon naught A by D. So we are getting 2 by 3 epsilon naught A by D. Which option is correct here? D option is correct. Next we go to the question number 33. Now listen, the given circuit the potential drop across the capacitor. Here across the capacitor we can find the potential drop. This is considered as A point and B point. Here we have to find the potential drop. Now this circuit totally I consider as a here starting here C. Now this is considered as a D. Now this is considered as a C, D, E. This is considered as a F. Now this is considered as a G and H. Now first of all I am in the the outer circuit C, D, E, F, G, H. This I am applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law. When applying the Kirchhoff voltage law, I am consider as a current direction in this direction. Current direction I am consider as in this direction. I am applying the Kirchhoff voltage law. When applying the Kirchhoff voltage law, we are coming as a here across the resistance potential drop. I am writing here. Now I am writing the potential drop and total current direction here also. In this direction, totally current direction we are taking here. Now the potential drop across the resistor. This resistor I am writing. I am starting from in the in loop. In loop, which loop I am consider C, D, E, F, G, H, C. In this loop, outside loop I am considering. Now in this loop I am writing the total potential drop is 0. Now what is I am writing here? Now first across the resistance IR. Here across the this is what is here across the battery, that is having the voltage V. Here this is ended the positive, so you are taken as a positive. Next this is ended the negative, that is the voltage is minus 2B. Now what is we are getting again here? We are writing here 2RI equal to 0. Total potential drop in the circuit 2RI. This is the current and current in the same direction of the resistance, that is taken as a positive. Now what is we are getting here? 3IR minus what is here? V equal to 0. Now what is here? 3IR equal to V. Now we find the I is equal to what is here? V by 3R. Next what is I writing in the potential drop across this circuit? A and B is asking the question. Now how to find the potential drop across the here A and B? Now we are applying the here again Kirchhoff voltage law in loop, that is I am considered as A, B, C, D, E, F, A in this loop. Now potential drop between the capacitor I am writing here VA minus VB is equal to, in this loop I am consider here current and resistance. Potential drop across the resistance we are taking here. Current direction same direction I am consider. Now what is here? IR. Now plus this is stopped at the positive plus V. This is stopped at the negative minus V. Now what is we are getting here? Potential difference between the capacitor VA minus VB. In between A and B, we are placing the capacitor C. VA minus VB is equal to VB, getting cancelled. Here IR is A. IR already we are getting here V by 3R into R. RR getting cancelled. What is the value we are getting here? V by 3. The potential drop is a V by 3. Which option is correct here? C option is correct. Next we go to the next question. In the circuit shown in the figure, the reading of ammeter is means this is we are redrawing this circuit. When redrawing the circuit, this 6 ohm taking here downside. Now what is we are getting the circuit here? Here listen here. This is a 4 ohm. This is what is here 2 volts. Here ammeter is 1. Now that is I am redrawing this diagram. Next we are getting here, this is a 3 ohm. Next this is what is here 2 ohm. Next what will there here 6 ohm, that is taking here downward. Now what is here when changing the diagram? This is 6 ohm is there. Now this is a 3 ohm is there. Now this is a 2 ohm is there. Next this is what is here 3 ohm is there. Now what will there here? This is 4 ohm. When changing the circuit like this. This here in the parallel combination. Parallel combination means 1 by R effective is equal to what is we are getting here? 1 by R1. 1 by R1 means 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6. Now 1 by R effective is equal to we are getting as a 6 is a LCM. Now what is we are getting here? 2 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 6 by 6 equal to 1. Now 1 by R effective is equal to 1 means R effective is equal to 1 ohm. Now this value is equal to totally, this value we are getting, this circuit value is equal to 1 ohm. Now this is circuit again we are drawing like this. This is we are what will be here, this is 4 ohm. Next this is what is here battery. Next what is that? This is ammeter. Now this value total again 3 here we are combining. This is we are getting the 1 ohm. Now we are drawing as this is taken as a new resistance 1 ohm. Now this is taken as a 1 ohm. Now this is already we know that this is how many ohms is a 4 ohms. Now this is how many volt here 2 volts. Now we can find here current. Now again we can find the total effective resistance in this circuit. Effective resistance in this circuit is equal to 1 ohm plus 4 ohm is both are in the series combination. Series combination means we are 4 plus 1 is equal to 5 ohm. That is effective resistance in this circuit we are getting. Now I is equal to current is equal to what is the formula? I is equal to here current means ammeter reading means in ammeter current value we have to find here. I is equal to V by R. V is equal to voltage. We know that here 2. R effective we are getting as a 5. 2 by 5. 2 by 5 means what we are getting here 0.4 amperes. 5 4s are 20, so 0.4 amperes. Which option here? This is a A. This option is B. This option is C. So C option is correct. Next we go to the next question. Question number 35. What is the question number 35? See here. A long solenoid carrying a current produces a magnetic field B at the center if the both number of turns per unit length and current are doubled. The new value of the magnetic field is. Inside the solenoid, the magnetic field formula is B is mu naught Ni. This is the magnetic field formula. Now, here what is here? When the number of turns per unit length, N value is doubled, I value also doubled. What is the magnetic field? Now, new magnetic field I have taken as the B dash. This is equal to mu naught. Here that is doubled. Doubled means this becomes to be 2N and 2I. Here number of turns per unit length is doubled, current also doubled. Now B dash is equal to 4 into mu naught Ni. Now B dash is equal to what we are getting here 4 into mu naught Ni is equal to P. Now how many times here? 4 times. 4 times means which option is correct here? D option is the correct. Next we go to the question number 36. Now, in which of the following situations will a charge experiences a zero force? The charge is resting electric field. Here, charge is resting electric field means the force is acting on the charge. Now, force is acting on the charge. We are studying this is on the electrostatics. The charge move parallel to electric field. Here also move in the parallel to electric field means so here also force is acting. But charge is at rest in a magnetic field. The magnetic field is acting on the charge only in case of the motion. When the charge is in the motion, the magnetic field is acting. That's the reason the charge is at rest in a magnetic field. Now in this case only, the force acting on the charge is zero. So that's the reason in this case only charge experiences a zero force. Which option is correct here? C option is correct. Next we come to the question number 37. For protecting a sensitive experiment from the external magnetic field, it should be from sensitive experiment it should be what is here now external magnetic field. Now in the sensitive experiment, sensitive equipment what will be there here inside there is no magnetic field. There is no magnetic field means we can place a what is there placed inside a iron can. Iron we are placing. Here iron we are placing means that does not affect it. That's the reason we can place what is there iron inside it for sensitive equipment placed into the external magnetic field. Right, this is our question number 37. B option is correct. Next we can come to the question number 38. A magnetic material in a magnetic field. The magnetic material in the magnetic field always move from the stronger to the weaker part of the field. This is a magnetic material. Here diamagnetic material suppose consider that is moving from weaker to stronger part, but magnetic material is moving from stronger to weaker part of the field. This is here C option is correct. This is the question number 38. Question number 38, which option is correct here? C option is correct. Next we can come to the question number 39. What is the question number 39 here? This is the two inductances are given. Mutual inductance. We know that for mutual inductance formula M is equal to under root of L1 L2. Now what will be there here? M is equal to under root of 0.1 into 0.1. 0.1 whole square. means m is equal to under root of 0.1 whole square. 2 1 is cancelled. What is getting here? 0.1 Henry. Means which option is correct here? B option is correct. This is the question number 39. Next we come to the question number 40. When the rate of change of the current through the coil is unity, then the reduced EMF is. Now we know that here reduced EMF is epsilon is equal to minus L into di by dt, or epsilon is equal to L into minus di by dt. This is rate of change of the current. The rate of change of the current is given as a unity, that is di by dt is equal to given as 1 unit. 1 unit means here epsilon is equal to what is here? L into 1. L into 1 is equal to L. So epsilon is equal to L, means induced EMF is equal to the coefficient of self-induction. So which option is correct here? C option is correct here. This is the induced EMF is equal to the coefficient of self-induction. This is the question number 40. Next question number 41. Now what will be the question number 41 here? I naught and IRMS and I mean are the peak values, are the peak value and RMS value and the mean current of the AC. The relations between them, which relations are the correct here? We know that here IRMS is equal to, we know that formula IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2. This is the maximum value. IRMS value. Now I mean value is equal to, we know that here 2 I naught by pi. I naught is given, I naught by pi. Now what is here? Which relation is correct here? Now from this we find the I naught value. What will be there here? I naught is equal to root 2 into I RMS. Now this is from this we find the I naught value. I naught is equal to what will be there here? Pi by 2 into what will be there here? I mean we are getting. Now this is I naught, this is I naught. So we are writing here I naught is equal to root 2 into RMS is equal to what is here? Pi by 2 into I RMS. So which option is correct here? From this we are saying that which option is correct here? C option is the correct. This is the question number 41. Next we go to the question number 42. What is the question number 42? The root mean square value of the following voltage in AC circuit. We know that root mean square value is equal to Vrms is equal to V naught by root 2. That is 1 by root 2 into V naught. So Vrms is equal to 1 by root 2 value is 0.707 into V naught. So 1 by root 2 value is 0.707. Which option is correct here? B option is correct. Next we can go to the question number. Next question is question number 43. The displacement current. It is a direct answer is there. That is the displacement current is equal to ID is equal to formula epsilon naught into d phi of V by dt. Means epsilon naught into d phi of dt. Which option is correct here? C option is correct. That is the displacement current expression. Next question number 44. Now the radio wave has a maximum magnetic field is 10 power of minus 4 Tesla. On receiving an antenna, the maximum electric field intensity of such varies. Maximum electric field is asking. You know that relation E naught to pi V naught is equal to C. Now E naught is equal to V naught into C. Now E naught is equal to V naught value given. That is 10 power of minus 4. 10 power of minus 4 into, now what will be there? C value is 3 into 10 power of 8. Now what is we are getting? E naught value, magnetic field value is equal to 3 into 10 power of 4 Newton for Coulomb. Newton for Coulomb we can take, or volt per meter inverse. Volt per meter also correct. Here that is a 2. What is there here for the electric field? That is a 2 units is there. One is a Newton per Coulomb or volt per meter. Anyone. Now this is a 3 into 10 power of 4 volt per meter. Here A option is correct. Next we go to the question number 45. An EP convex lens of focal length is 60 meter contained to two equal parts A and B as shown. Now to obtain the two plano and shown. This is cut into two equal parts A and B as shown in figure. To obtain the two plano convex lines as shown in figure, the focal length of each part is asking here. Means it is cutting into two parts. That's the reason we are getting here plano convex lenses are we are getting here. And this is what is here. This is we know this is already given here. This is convex lens. This is cutting into two parts. This is one is a plano convex lens. This is also another one is a plano convex lens. We are getting two plano convex lenses are we are getting. Now first of all, equiconvex lens focal length formula, we know that here 1 by f is equal to mu minus 1. Equi means the radius is the same 1 by r into what is here, this general formula 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. In the place of the r2 we can take the minus r. Now what is we are getting here, focal length is equal to mu minus 1 into, this is 1 by r plus 1 by r is equal to 2 by r. Now we are getting this value. Now next what is here, this value, that focal length value is equal to already given. How much given? That focal length value is equal to 1 by equiconvex length of focal length is 60 meter is given. That value already given. That is how many centimeters given here? 60 centimeters. Now it is cutting into two parts, two plano convex lenses. For the plano convex lenses, focal length we have taken as f1 and taken here. This is plano convex lens. Two plano convex lens focal length. That is we have to find here. Plano convex lens means one is having the radius is r, another one is radius is infinity. For plane, that is radius is infinity. Now what is we are getting here? 1 by f1 is equal to mu minus 1 into 1 by r. So what is we are getting here? 1 by f is equal to, this is multiplying and dividing with 2. Here this is what is we are getting here, multiplying and dividing with 2 means 2 into mu minus 1 into 1 by, here this is 2 into, what is we are making, multiplying and dividing into 2 means here 1 by 2 into mu minus 1 into 2 by r. Multiplying dividing, there is no change in the value. Now 1 by f is equal to 1 by 2 into mu minus 1 into 2 by r can be written as, this is 1 by f1 value. Now this can be mu minus 1 into 2 by r can be written as what is here, that value is equal to already know that here 1 by f. Now what is here, from this we are getting here f1 is equal to, f1 is equal to, we are getting as a 2f. Now f1 is equal to 2. F is given already 60 centimeter. 2 into 60. Now what is here? F1 is equal to 120 centimeter. Means each part is having the how much centimeter focal length here? 120 centimeter focal length. Each is having the plano convex lens. That each plano convex lens is having a focal length is how many centimeters here? 120 centimeters. This is the question number 45. Next we go to the question number 46. What is the question number 46? One of the faces of the prism of refracting angle is 30 degrees is silvered. A ray of light is incident at an angle of 45 degrees. This is 30 degrees. This is a 45 degrees. On the other face, retraces its path. This is important here. After refraction and reflection from the silvered face. The refractive index of the prism is here. This is a prism here. We are considered the prism here. Here one surface is silvered. This surface is silvered. The refracting angle is given. Refracting angle is 30 degrees. Now this is a normal. Now when the incident ray is falling like this. Now retraces its path. Retraces its path means it is falling and reversing back in this direction. Now this is we know that here I. This is we know that here we consider as R1. This angle is R2. R2 is 0. Why R2 is 0 here? Retraces its path. Retraces its path means in which direction it is falling, same direction it is come back. Means that's the reason here the angle R2 is equal to 0. When angle R2 is equal to 0, angle A is equal to, we know that formula R1 plus R2. The refracting angle is given 30 degrees. Now what is here? 30 degrees is equal to R1 plus 0. Now 30 degrees is equal to R1. Now R1 is equal to 30 degrees. Means this value is equal to 30 degrees. Now an angle of incidence at an angle 45 degrees. Means this value also given I1. I1 is equal to 45 degrees is given. Now we find the refractive index. How to find the refractive index here? We know that formula mu is equal to sin I1 by sin R1. Now mu is equal to sin I1 is equal to 45 degrees by sine what is here 30 degrees. Now what is we are getting here? Sine 45 is equal to 1 by root 2, sine 30 is equal to 1 by 2. Now mu is equal to we are getting here as a 1 by root 2 into 2 by 1. 2 by 1 is equal to what is here? Root 2. So refractive index is how much here? Root 2 we are getting here. This is the here this type of models very important for competitive examination. This is the value is equal to how much is a root 2. This mu value is equal to root 2. When silvered, when the surface is silvered, the angle of this angle is R2 value is how much here? 0. It is falling on the surface and raised faces in the same path. That's the reason angle becomes to be 0. Next, we can come to the question number 47. In the AV demonstrate experiment, if the monochromatic light is used, is replaced by white light. When the monochromatic light is replaced by the white light, when the monochromatic light is we are using, center is a what is here? Bright fringe, and surrounding is we are getting bright and dark fringes we are getting. Now, but when the monochromatic light is replaced by the white light, what is we are getting means only central fringe is white is a remaining all fringes are what they are colored fringes we are getting. Now which option is correct here? D option is correct. Next we come to the question number 48. Now what we do there? Two beams of light of intensity I1 and I2 interfere to give an interference pattern. Find if the ratio of maximum intensity to that of minimum intensity 25 by 9 is given. Now maximum by minimum is given. I max by I minimum is equal to given as a 25 by 9. Now we know that here formula I max by I minimum is equal to here in terms of the amplitudes A1 plus A2 whole square by A1 minus A2 whole square is equal to given value is 25 by 9. From this we can write as a A1 plus A2 by A1 minus A2. We are making square root on both sides. We are getting 5 by 3. 5 by 3 we are getting. Cross multiply. 3A1 plus 3A2 is equal to 5A1 minus 5A2. Now here A1 A2 terms are we are taking in the same side. Now this is taking here, that is 8A2 is equal to this is taking here 2A1. 5A1 minus 3A1 is equal to A1. 3A2 plus 5A2 is equal to 8A2. Now A1 by A2 is required. A1 by A2 is required means this is taking here A1 by A2 is equal to what is we are getting here 8 by 4. 8 by 4 is equal to what is here 4 by 1. A1 by A2 is equal to 4 by 1. So I1 by I2, the ratio of I1 by I2, that is what is here A1 square by A2 square. Intensity is directly proportional to the amplitude. So I1 by I2 is equal to A1 square by A2. So I1 by I2 is equal to A1 by A2 is equal to 4 by 1. This is I am writing like this A1 by A2 whole square. So what is here 4 by 1 whole square. So 16 by 1 are equal to 16. So the ratio value is equal to how much is there? We are getting 16 by 1 is equal to, we know that value is equal to 60. So the ratio value is equal to 60. This is question number 48. Next we can come to the question number 49. What is the question number 49? See here. The slope of the graph of the maximum kinetic energy of the photo electrons varies. Photoelectrons versus here photoelectron versus the frequency difference nu minus mu naught in photoelectric experiment is measured. Now slope is asking, we drawing the graph between maximum kinetic energy and mu minus mu naught. Here what we know that here from the Einstein formula, here h mu is equal to w naught plus kinetic energy maximum. This is the Einstein formula. Now what we know that here h mu is equal to w naught is h mu naught plus kinetic energy maximum. Now we are drawing the graph between kinetic energy and mu minus mu naught. So kinetic energy maximum is equal to h into mu minus mu naught. Now mu minus mu naught and kinetic energy maximum. This is in the form of y is equal to mx. Mu minus mu naught is taken on the x-axis. We have listen here mu minus mu naught is taken on the x-axis. Now and what is here kinetic energy maximum is taken on the y-axis. When taking this one we are getting the straight line. The straight line is having the slope. We compare here. This is the x is the mu minus mu naught. Kinetic energy is taken as a y is compared with kinetic energy maximum. This is on the y-axis, this is on the nu minus mu naught on the x-axis. So slope value is equal to what will be there here? Slope m is equal to h. M is equal to h means slope value is Planck's constant. That value is equal to h. Which option is correct here? A option is correct. Next we come to the question number 50. Now what is a photosensitive metal is first radiated with an radiation of wavelength 400 nanometers when the radiation of wavelength 800 nanometers. Next, the change in the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectron, assume that both wavelengths can cause photoelectric emission. Now first of all we know that formula, general formula E is equal to H2. Now RE is equal to HC by lambda, means E is proportional to 1 by lambda. Here two wavelengths I consider 400 and 800 is given, double is given. So I am writing as E1 by E2 is equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1. So E1 by E2 is equal to lambda 2 is equal to 800. 800 lambda 1 is a 400 nanometers is given. Here this is getting as a 2. Now E1 by E2 is equal to 2. Sum this E2 is equal to what we are getting here? E1 by 2. Now E2 is equal to E1 by 2 we are getting means. Now what is here? E2 is equal to E1 by 2. Now the change in the kinetic energy is asking here. Change in the kinetic energy delta E is equal to, here what is here? E1 minus E2. E1 is large. Now delta E is equal to E1 minus E2. E2 is equal to E1 by 2. Now change in the kinetic energy is equal to, we are getting here E1 minus E1 by 2 is E1 by 2. Now this is the change in the kinetic energy. Now what we have to find here? The change in the kinetic energy value we have to find here. Now that is the change in maximum kinetic energy is asking here. For finding the change in the kinetic energy, E1 value is required. Now E is equal to, we know that formula HC by lambda. So this value is equal to 12,400 by lambda in angstrom. And getting E value in electron volt. Now what is here? This is a lambda value given in nanometer. That is for the first wavelength. First wavelength I will consider here. E1 value I am finding here, lambda 1. Here that is a, generally here E1 is equal to lambda 1 in angstrom we have to require. But lambda 1 is given in nanometers, 400 nanometers. Now lambda 1 is equal to 400 into 10 power of minus 9 meters. So we have to write like this, 4000 into 10 power of minus 10 meters or 4000 angstroms. That 4000 it is coming in angstrom, we substitute in this direct formula. Now what is we are getting here? E1 is equal to, E1 getting in electron volts, that is 12,400 by 12,400 by this is a 4,000. These two zeros are cancelled. Now what is here? This is a 124 by, now 4 ones are 4 tens are 4 threes are 4 ones are. Now we are getting this value is equal to 3.1 electron volts. This is the E1 value. But in this, what is asking here? Delta E. Delta E is equal to, what is we are getting here? E1 by 2. E1 by 2 means 3.1 electron volt by 2. This value here about we are getting here 1.55 electron volts. So which option is correct here? B option is correct. Next we come to the question number 51. What is the question number 51? See here. Question number 51. The question number 51, what is here? According to the Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. In the Bohr's model of hydrogen atom, the linear velocity of the electron is quantized. This is not correct. The angular velocity of the electron is quantized. This is not correct. Angular velocity, linear velocity is not quantized. Linear momentum also not quantized. Which is quantized here? Angular momentum is quantized. We are writing, we know that in the Bohr's postulate, we are writing relation. MPR is equal to NH by 2 pi. This N value takes a 1, 2, 3 like this. Or L is equal to NH by 2 pi. N equal to 1, 2, 3. Means that angular momentum is quantized. Which option is correct here? D option is correct. Next, we go to the question number 52. The angular momentum of the electron in second orbit of hydrogen atom is given. Yeah, atom is L is given. The angular momentum in the third orbit is asking here. The second orbit given, value is L is given. L is equal to, general formula, we know that here mr is equal to nh by 2 pi. Or L is equal to nh by 2 pi. Or in the which orbit it is the L value is there in the second orbit. Second orbit means L value substitute the 2h by 2 pi. Means 2h by 2 pi as it is here. But in which orbit asking here? Third orbit. Third orbit means L is equal, that is I have taken as a L dash, the third orbit. Third orbit means in the place of the L I am writing the 3h by 2 pi. Now this is multiply and divide with 2. So L dash is equal to, that new angular momentum L dash is equal to 2 by 2 into 3h by 2 pi. Now what is we are getting here? L dash is equal to 3 by 2 I am writing outside. Remaining is 2h by 2 pi. Now what is we are getting here from this? L dash is equal to 3 by 2 into L. 3 by 2 into 2h by 2 pi is equal to what we know that here from this L is there. So L dash is equal to what we are getting here? 3 by 2 into L. Which option is correct here? C option is correct. Right, this is the question number 52. Next we move to the question number 53. The half-life of the radon is 4 days. The half-life of the radon is 4 days. 10 grams of radon after 16 days will reduce it to. Now half-life is given here. That is half-life T of is equal to given. The half-life is equal to how many days is given here? 4 days. Half-life. Next total time also given. Total time T is equal to what is how many days here? 60 days. Now what is here? That is the mass also given. M is equal to mass. M is equal to how many grams are given here? 10 grams. How many grams of mass is there? 10 grams. Now what is here? T is equal to, we know that formula N into T of. This is called as the number of half-lives. Now N is equal to T by T of. T by T of means T value is equal to 16 days by 4 days. Equal to how much we are getting? Number of half-lives are the 4. But we know that formula M is equal to M naught by 2 to the power of N. M naught by 2 to the power of 4. Now M naught by 2 to the power of 4 means 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 32. Now what is the M naught value? We know that here how many grams here? 10. 10 by 32. 10 by 32 means this is 2 5s are 2 16s are. Here this value is 4, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16 we are getting here. This is 16. 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Now this value is equal to 16. 5s are, this is our desire 4s are. This is a 5, this is 8s are. 2 8s are, 2 5s are. 5 by 8. 5 by 8 value is equal to what is we are getting here? This is 0.48 means 0.6. 0.6 means this value we are getting here 0.625 grams. This value is 0.625 grams. Which option is correct here? B option is correct. This is question number 53. Next we move to the question number 54. What is the question number? Of the following particles that one can be added to the nucleus without changing the chemical properties. Then alpha, electron, proton, these all are added to the particles. The chemical properties can be changes. But when chemical properties are not changes, when the neutron is added to the nucleus, the chemical properties are not changes. So which option is correct here? D option is correct. Next we come to the question number 55. This is direct question. The energy gap of the silicon. The energy gap of the germanium is equal to 0.7 electron volts. Some put 0.5 also given, but 0.7 electron volts. But the silicon is 1.1 electron volts. This is here what is the germanium and silicon are the semiconductors. The energy gap is 1.1 electron volts. So which option is correct here? D option is correct. These are the question number 55. Next we go to the question number 56. Listen here. Current through the ideal diode as shown in figure. First current, before finding the current, first it is in the which bias we can find out. Now listen here. 2 volts. 2 volts is here. 2 volts is connected to positive. This is what is a smaller value. 5 volts is connected to the negative. smaller value is connected to the positive, larger value is connected to the negative. Means it is nothing but a which bias here? Reverse bias. This is a reverse bias. This is at the low. This terminal at the low. Low is connected to positive. This is a high. High is connected to negative. Means it is the reverse bias. The reverse bias means the current is here. Current is very low. It is negligible. Current is very low passing through the what is a diode. That is very negligible. Negligible means current is a negligible means that in this circuit the current value is what is a zero. Directly we are saying that zero because this circuit in which bias here? Reverse bias. And forward bias is there, you can calculate the value. But in the reverse bias, directly the current in the diode is zero. So current in the circuit also zero. Next we come to the question number 57. What is here? If radio receiver tuned to 885 kilohertz radio wave, the frequency of the local oscillator in kilohertz. Receiver is radio receiver is turned is 885 kilohertz. The frequency of the local oscillator, the radio receiver frequency both are the same. That's the reason which is the option is correct here. C option is the correct. Next, this is the Dirac formula. In space wave propagation, the relation between height and range of transmission. Now, what is the range means D. That is what is the range. Equal to formula we know that here 2RH. R is the radius of the earth. Now what is the H is the what will be the height of the antenna. This is what is here. This is called as a range. Range is equal to under root of 2RH or 2HR. We can consider. This is which option is correct here? A option is the correct. This is question number 58. Next we can go to the question number 59. Now this is also capacitors. Given parallel plate capacitor, we find the equivalent capacitance. Now first of all here also we can take that this is a A terminal. Now A terminal is connected to second plate. That in between second and one capacitor is formed. Now second is connected to 4. In between this is a 2. This is 1. In between one capacitor is formed. Now all are having the same capacity. These are parallel plate capacitors 2 and 1. In between one capacitor is there. A connected to 2. In between 2 and 1 capacitor is there. One is connected to 4. So one is connected to 4. Fourth plate. Now in between 4 and 3 another capacitor is formed, but 3 is connected to B terminal. B terminal. Redrawing the diagram. Now in between 2 and 3, 1 and 2, one capacitor is completed. 3 and 4, another capacitor is completed. In between 2 and 3 also, another capacitor is there. So that is 2 and 3. Here 2 is there, here 3 is there. Now in between 2 and 3, another capacitor we are taking. Now this is also capacitance C. This is also capacitance C. In between 2 and 3, this is taken. In between 1 and 2. One capacitor. This is 2 connected to A. In between 2 and 1 capacitor. Next one connected to 4 and in between 4 and 3 one capacitor. Now 3 is connected to B. But in between 2 and 3 also one capacitor. 2 connected to A, 3 connected to B. Here 2 connected to A, 3 connected to B. This is a equivalent circuit. Now from this we can find the capacitance. These two are in the series combination. First these two, we are replacing this one. These two means C effective is equal to C into C by series combination. C plus C means what is that? C square by 2C is equal to C by 2 here. Now redrawing the diagram again. Here the effective of these two is getting as a C by 2. Now another capacitor is there. That is only the capacitance is C. This is C by 2C. These two are in a parallel combination. So C effective is equal to parallel combination means C by 2 plus C is equal to 3C by 2 is equal to 3 by 2 into the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor is we know that epsilon naught A by D. Here both options are given as the same. C and D both options are the correct. 3 epsilon naught A by 2D, that is also 3 epsilon naught A by 2D. A and B are not correct. That is the difference is there. This is the question number 59. Next to in this video, last question. What is the last question is there? What is the last question in this video? Now that is the 60 question. Two beams of protons moving parallel to each other along the same direction. Here protons moving in the same direction. Here what are they given here? Repel each other, attract each other, exert a force deflected perpendicular to the original direction of the motion. The two protons are moving in the same direction. The two protons are what is here? Repel with each other. So 60 option is which option is correct here? A option is correct. Thank you.